Few people in music history are as mysterious and turbulent as Ozzy Osbourne. His harsh vocals and theatrical presence as Black Sabbath's leader helped the band become renowned. Behind the scenes, though, Osbourne's struggles with substance addiction and unpredictable conduct had a lasting negative impact on both the band's cohesiveness and his personal relationships. Black Sabbath's guitarist and co-founder Tony Iommi has frequently provided insight into these tumultuous periods, highlighting the significant effects of Osbourne's behavior on individuals in his immediate vicinity. Imagine the late 1960s in Birmingham, England. The band that would soon redefine heavy metal is formed by four young men: Bill Ward, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, and Ozzy Osbourne. Iommi's thunderous riffs and Osbourne's eerie vocals were a fantastic match, and their chemistry was evident. Strongly rooted in their mutual love of music, the group's brotherly camaraderie was evident. But the demands of the rock and roll lifestyle increased along with their notoriety. Osbourne started abusing drugs and alcohol excessively, which would cause him to act erratically and cause tension in the band. Osbourne's substance usage had reached dangerous proportions by the middle of the 1970s. He exhibited unpredictable conduct, missed rehearsals, and had poor performances as a result of his extensive drinking and drug usage. Tony Iommi has described the difficulties of working with Osbourne during this time in a number of interviews. Osbourne's unpredictable nature made it challenging to keep the band together, so their stability was always in jeopardy. The burden of Osbourne's activities also fell on Bill Ward and Geezer Butler. In particular, Ward battled substance usage, and Osbourne's actions frequently made his problems worse. The formerly close-knit ensemble began to grow apart as their artistic partnership was overshadowed by personal conflicts. The year 1979 was the turning moment. Following several unsatisfactory shows and rising hostilities, the band reluctantly decided to split from Osbourne. According to Tony Iommi, this was one of the band's most difficult times ever. Even though they were very close, Osbourne's actions had gotten out of hand, and the band felt forced to continue without him. Osbourne's exit was a major turning point in Black Sabbath's history. The loss of Osbourne's unique voice and presence was noticed even though they kept recording with different frontmen. Osbourne attempted to establish himself outside of the band during this time, which was characterized by increasing personal degeneration. Beyond the stage, Ozzy Osbourne's battles with substance misuse had a devastating impact on his personal life, inflicting scars that would take years to heal. As his addictions worsened, his marriage to Sharon Osbourne, the person who supported him through his highs and lows, became a battlefield. Sharon has described her agonizing experiences of living with Ozzy during his darkest times, including verbal abuse that left deep wounds and violent altercations that left emotional and physical scars. Every day was a gamble for Sharon, who wasn't sure whether she would encounter the erratic stranger brought on by drugs and alcohol or the devoted spouse she knew. It was a life of perpetual watchfulness, a delicate balancing act between survival and love. Despite her resilience, the toll was indisputable. She became Ozzy's defender and, occasionally, his victim, united by a love as strong as it was put to the test. Amy, Kelly, and Jack, her children, were all equally impacted, growing up in a chaotic environment tainted by their father's addictions. While many kids recall idyllic family times, Ozzy's kids had to deal with an unstable environment. When their father's addictions took center stage, they found little value in his wealth and notoriety. The agony of those years would follow Kelly and Jack well into adulthood, as they saw their father's highs and lows with excruciating clarity. As they battled their own addictions, they would mirror the hardships they had witnessed their father face. Despite having the luxury that Ozzy's celebrity had purchased, their home frequently lacked the tranquility and stability that most families take for granted. Ozzy has talked about his intense feelings of regret and guilt for the pain he caused his family in his more sober views. Instead, he accepts his responsibilities without hesitation. He regretfully admits the long-lasting wounds his acts have caused to the people he cares about the most. He has acknowledged that he was unable to completely understand the harm he was causing when his addiction was at its worst. There wasn't much place for anything else in his universe. Everything had shrunk to the next drink, the next high. But now he sees those years as a plunge into darkness that cost him time with his family, time he will never get back. The process of mending those broken connections has been challenging, but it has also been characterized by unwavering hope. As he battled to find his way back, he clung to Sharon's affection for him, which was tempered by her own strength. The wounds still show how they survived together, but they also show how strong their bond has remained. For his children, forgiveness has been a gradual process, based on years of shared suffering and hesitant attempts at recovery. Ozzy appreciates them with a thankfulness that he would not have had in his earlier years, since he knows that every family get-together in peaceful time is earned. Ozzy's family today serves as evidence of the devastation that addiction can cause, as well as the resiliency that love can foster. His path to recovery has served as evidence of the strength of atonement and an opportunity to mend the harm he had caused. Despite the lingering effects of the past, Ozzy's dedication to his family has become his redemption story, a reflection of their sacrifices for him and the fortitude required to rise above the wreckage. Ozzy views every minute spent with his family as a second chance, an opportunity to demonstrate that even the most severe wounds can mend, and to be the husband and father he was unable to be during those difficult years. Osbourne had a mixed solo career in the years after leaving Black Sabbath, including both highs and lows. Numerous personal and professional problems resulted from his ongoing substance usage. But his commitment to sobriety in the early 2000s marked a sea change. Osbourne started the protracted road to recovery with the help of his family and old bandmates. Despite their prior disagreements, Tony Iommi supported Osbourne at this period, underscoring their enduring relationship. After reaching a breaking point, their relationship found a way to recover. Ozzy Osbourne's heart is heavy with a mix of appreciation and regret as he considers his turbulent past. Once reveling in mayhem, the wild rock star now sits with a perspective sharpened by grief, sobriety, and age. He freely admits the hurt he inflicted on everyone who loved him, including himself. His family, his bandmates, and the fans who witnessed his decline all bear the apparent and invisible scars that he bears. He remembers with regret the times he lost to addiction, the anniversaries he missed, the commitments he broke, and the concerts he attended while intoxicated. But there is also thankfulness for second chances, thankfulness for a family that supported him, and thankfulness for the strength he somehow discovered within himself to face his fears and take back his life. Osbourne's legacy is further enhanced by Tony Iommi's thoughts on him. Iommi took the brunt of Osbourne's unpredictable actions on his own for years, leading the band through the chaos Ozzy brought to every recording session and tour. Iommi's disclosures during those years highlight the significant cost of loyalty in addition to the difficulties of celebrity. Others could have left, but Iommi stayed because he was devoted to his bandmate and the music, which kept him connected to the voyage no matter how bleak it seemed. The personal expenses, sacrifices, and silent fortitude needed by those who support loved ones lost in addiction are rarely discussed in rock and roll, but Iommi's observations illuminate a side of the genre. His thoughts highlight the fact that forgiveness is a process that calls for patience, suffering, and the guts to think that recovery is achievable. Osbourne's path to atonement has been nothing short of extraordinary. More than merely apologizing was necessary to address the harm caused by addiction, it also called for change, humility, and the readiness to live a different life. He has attempted to mend the ties he once destroyed via years of hardship, counseling, and his wife Sharon's support. Relapses in times of hopelessness and annoyance were common on his path to rehabilitation. He never gave up, though. Clarity increased with each passing year. With each setback, he gained a better comprehension of the strength required to escape. For the first time in years, he was able to identify the guy in the mirror as he embarked on a road toward recovery and a new way of living. But the tale of Ozzy Osbourne and Tony Iommi is not just one of survival, it is also one of brotherhood that has been tempered by hardship. Through mutual respect and forgiveness, their once stressed relationship has been restored. Their friendship reached a level neither of them could have predicted when they were younger, thanks to Iommi's readiness to forgive and recognize that Ozzy's destructive path was as much an internal struggle as an external influence. What started out as a connection based on music and common goals is now based on resiliency, a sobering realization of the toll addiction takes, and the unwavering faith that even the most shattered relationships can be repaired. Today, Osbourne and Iommi's story is simultaneously a cautionary tale, a ray of hope, and a potent monument to the rock and roll industry. Their story serves as a reminder that battles fought offstage are just as important to the writing of a legacy as stardom and records sold. In the bonds re-established during years of conflict and in each person's inherent potential for redemption. Ozzy no longer views his excesses as what made him who he is. Rather, it is about the courage he mustered to face the darkness within, the forgiveness he received, and the strength he discovered in recovery. Even though he is still the Prince of Darkness, his quest for light is his greatest triumph.